Oh, Marvel, how your comeuppance has been so sweet. So, if you're like me, a longtime comic book fan, there's no doubt you feel somewhat alienated by Marvel's political direction they've gone in lately. It's not been handled well, it's pretty heavy handed and just poorly done, and as a fan, I don't see any purpose for it. So, now an article comes out today from. This one's from Cosmic Book News. I'm sure there's tons of other articles out there discussing how Marvel is now essentially begging its readers to pick up Secret Empire. So I'm going to read you the article and then I'm going to give you my thoughts and pretty much laugh at their failures. So, Marvel Comics has been in the hot seat as of late. Sales are down. The VP of sales blames fans for not buying comics. The editor in chief says artists don't sell books. The company wants retailers to dress as Nazis. As were Cosmic Book News, I'll even throw in they canceled Nova and Guardians of the Galaxy. Now in its latest, in regards to their Secret Empire event, which sees Captain America as a bigwig in the Hydra organization, something that has also ticked off readers, with some boycotting it altogether, such as our own comic book reviewer Chris Bushley, and the guy who's making this video, Jeff Hicks. Apparently, word of Secret Empire taking off fans has finally made its way up the Marvel chain of commands, or more than likely they just saw the sales numbers, as Marvel Comics has released a statement to their Disney-owned ABC News outlet. Marvel Comics asks you to keep buying Secret Empire, with the article also asking fans to be patient. With Marvel Comics' Secret Empire, the forces of Hydra have taken over, and due to the villainous actions of the Red Skull, have manipulated Marvel's greatest hero, Captain America, and forced him to adopt their cause. The statement to ABC reads, "At Marvel, we want to assure our fans that we hear your concerns about the aligning of Captain America with Hydra, and we politely ask that you allow the story to unfold before coming to any conclusions." Well, reader's note, that's bullshit. They know they fucked up, and they're just begging you to buy their books more and more. Because, they want to justify their stupid political decisions. When you hire a failed politician like Nick Spencer, no, not in the literal sense, instead of a quality writer. The article further notes, and even includes a spoiler by mentioning good will always triumph over evil, obviously meaning Captain America will win over Hydra and be back to his good old self, which kinda kills the excitement of the story. It's kind of like the Clone Saga back in the 90s. Both are equally shitty, but at one time the Clone Saga had the balls to tell you that the Spider-Man you had been reading this whole time was just a clone. But Marvel backed out, and actually in this case made the right decision, and made sure that Peter Parker was always the true Peter Parker. And, it is the right decision to make Captain America good, but it's also the right decision never to do this dumb shit, because Captain America is important to a lot of people. I've read a lot of the books. I love the movies. I wouldn't call myself, your A number one Captain America fan, but I'll tell you this. I understand and respect what the character stands for and means to a lot of people. To make him essentially a Nazi is slapping Jack Kirby and Joe Simon in the face. And I mean, Jack Kirby was a Jewish guy who created Captain America. That says a lot about what Marvel's doing right there. Even more so than that, it just shows you how inept the writers and editors are at Marvel. I mean, Captain America, is this great American icon created from first generation American born to a Jewish immigrant family, and it's just like slapping the American dream right in the face. So back to the article, and I quote, "The statement continues that the passion of the fans is what keeps the company moving forward," which to me just sounds like fucking corporate talk for, hey, we know you're passionate, but please don't jump to any conclusions. Captain America will always be a cornerstone of the Marvel Universe, who will stand up for what is right, and Secret Empire will be the biggest challenge Steve has ever faced. That's actually not a lie, because the biggest challenge he's ever faced is the stupid people who are fucking writing and running Marvel Comics. What you will see at the end of this journey is that his heart and soul, his core values, not his muscle or shield, are what save the day against Hydra, and will further prove that our heroes will always stand against oppression and show that good will always triumph over evil. In this case, Marvel's the oppressor. I don't see how they feel like they're telling a good story. They're kind of just shitting on the readers, and the readers don't like it. That's one thing I can say about comic book fans. As a whole, they're a lot smarter than your average entertainment group. You got your sports fans who are kind of just mindless idiots that, get drunk and watch football. But I think comic book fans are a little more introverted, and they have taken the time to discuss or think about the greater meaning behind said characters. Hell, I'd say your average comic book fan, I wouldn't even say that. I'd say your dedicated comic book fan has put in more thought than a lot of the creators have on their books, so take with that what you will. This author also goes to give his 2 cents, which I'm not really going to read you because I don't want to regurgitate his opinions. I just wanted to let you guys know about the state of this, and now what I think, if I haven't already done so before. This is hilarious. It is really nice to see my one-time favorite comic book company failing miserably. Why? Because they deserve it. Outside of the stupid political agenda crap and they're pandering to the SJW market, who, by the way, doesn't even buy comic books, they're just doing stupid story-related things. For example, my favorite character is Spider-Man. More so than anything outside of like a James Bond or something like that. Spider-Man is the be-all end-all for me in comic book form. And they've ruined the character. He has become Iron Man, essentially. He is a rich billionaire who owns an international business and drives a fucking car and like falls from outer space and all this other crazy shit. And I'm not exaggerating. Those are all events that have happened within the last 3 or 4 years in Spider-Man comics. Then they kill off characters like Wolverine. Captain America's now a fucking Hydra agent. The Hulk is dead. All these great characters, the things that you want to go buy comics based on, are dead. Because the problem is this. You get lazy editors-in-chiefs. Well, there's one, Axel Alonso. He's a lazy man. They don't give a shit. It's just whatever's going to make them enough money to keep them going, and they don't put any time or effort into it. And another problem, they get cheap talent to produce these books. Cheap talent, it doesn't even care about it or have any reverence for the material. I mean, if you would have proposed this story 20, 30, 40, hell, even if Stan Lee would have written this story, if he writes anything, Captain America would have joined Hydra for like an issue, and then it would have been like, hey, I got you, and then it would have showed you how strong Captain America is as a character. I don't think it was really their intention to switch him back, if at all, because these young writers, who are somehow older than me, don't like America. They're trying to make a statement about Donald Trump and all this other shit. Oh, the disenfranchised American citizen, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something, pal. I'm an American citizen. I live a normal, everyday life. I don't sit and write comic books and have my head up my ass about my political views and how they're important and need to be reflected upon a character that means more to millions of people than you do to any single person. No, I don't live that life, and I don't like that kind of bullshit being dictated to me. I find it offensive. I see what you're trying to do, and I don't like it. So I vote with my wallet and I don't buy it. And I'm happy to see Marvel flailing, because in the past, when they've made stupid fucking decisions like Spider-Man One More Day, you just see Joe Quesada's smug ass, oh, it's this, it's that, it's how it should be. And, you know, there was never an apology. Now, Marvel's scared. I guess it's nice maybe Disney's forcing them to change their game plan, because if they don't, down the road it's going to hurt the movies, because the movies are always based on previous comics and storylines and such. So if they don't have anything good to base it on, or they base it on things people don't like, those movies are going to not flop, but they're going to suffer, and you're going to see a decline in sales, and you can see the bubble of comic book movies bursting. And it would all be because of stupid people like Nick Spencer, Dan Buckley, Axel Alonso, all these people that are in charge behind the scenes of Marvel that are just stupid and lazy and complacent and are putting out a crap product, you know? DC was doing the same shit with the New 52 after a while, and you know what? They essentially apologized, gave you Rebirth, and are telling some really excellent superhero-based stories. I mean, it's exciting that the Watchmen are now a part of the regular DC universe. That's something I had thought about a lot, and now it's a thing, and I like it. And it's something to get excited for. That's the biggest thing about comic books. There has to be something to get excited for. And as a longtime reader, I'm still in my 20s, but as a longtime reader, it's not exciting to go to the store and watch everything you love get shit on, you know? Captain America is shit on. Spider-Man is shit on. Wolverine's fucking gone. Come on, Wolverine is the coolest X-Men character there is. And they kill him off and they replace him with X23 is now Wolverine, that shit's never going to catch on. I don't care how deep you're trying to push your gender identity, politics, and all that other horse shit. It's just not going to work, okay? People, I hate to say it, but if you boil it down, people want the same shit in a slightly different package. It's like Malibu Stacy in her new hat. It's got a new hat. Nobody wanted Wolverine to die. Maybe just spice him up. Or just, tell a backstory about Wolverine. Those are always cool, Tell another story where he was in Japan or when he was fighting in this war or that war. Like, there's ways to spice up Wolverine and do these things. But they choose not to. They try to be spiteful towards 20th Century Fox because they own the X-Men license, or currently hold the X-Men license, and they do all these dumb, stupid things that hurt their comic books. And for me, their comic books are the thing that I support the most frequently. I loved Marvel Comics. There was a time where I would go to the comic book store every week and buy $50 in books, mostly Marvel. I'd pick up the occasional Batman title here and there, and I'd pick up some independent stuff, but it was mostly Marvel. Avengers, Daredevil, Spider-Man, some Iron Man, X-Men, depending on the storyline. And now they get none of my money. And it's all been based on these stupid decisions they've made. And you can take this one of two ways, and I've said this earlier. You can take the political route, which, if you cannot see the political agenda behind Marvel Comics, you're as blind as fucking Matt Murdock. It is there. It's clear as day. It is not some conspiracy theory that a bunch of shitlords on the internet are trying to fucking spread. No. It's everywhere. You even have YouTubers like Sargon of Akkad and channels like that don't even follow or talk about comic books talking about this shit. It's that big of a deal. I mean, there's a fucking comic book with "Ask Me About My Feminist Agenda" on the t-shirt. How about I ask you where your quality writing went? Oh wait, it's not in this fucking book. Unsolicited opinions on Israel. Ooh, wow, that's great. And we're just pushing brown girl Captain Marvel and female Thor and all these it's like, here's the thing. Marvel Comics has always had a diverse cast of characters. Diversity doesn't always mean every shade of the rainbow, but at Marvel it does, and it's been fine, Storm, excellent character in the X-Men. No one cares that she's an African woman. It's not even like it's important to her character, but it's not what she is. She's like the cool, calm, collected X-Men who leads the team and knows how to handle her shit in the greatest moments of pressure. That's a great character right there. It's not, oh, this is the Asian Hulk. What's different? Well, he's Asian. What else? He's Asian. What do you want? I want Bruce Banner back is what I want. I want the real Incredible Hulk. I want the characters that I love. I don't want Riri Williams. I want Iron Man, Tony Stark. I want Thor Odinson. I want the ones that have been there, the tried and true versions of these characters. And that's the second thing. It's just you're fucking with what works, okay? Maybe Marvel's not seeing the sales they saw in the 90s because here's the thing. There are so many different forms of entertainment out there, so many different things that they have to compete with nowadays that comic books aren't even on a lot of people's radar. The characters are, the movies are, but actual physical comic books aren't. Are they ever going to be phased out? Nah. It's ingrained in American culture. It's one of the great American art forms. But Marvel's doing a damn good job at making us not want to support the great American art form. They're putting out really crappy, poorly written books. Was it America Chavez? I actually read that online just to see if it was as retarded as people have said. And it is. It's the worst written thing I've ever read in my entire life. Like, you can criticize me or whatever you want to do, but go read that book and realize what truly poor writing and truly poor execution is, okay? That book is the definition of shit. But I really don't have much else to say besides good for Marvel. It's so funny to watch you beg. It is so funny to see you have fallen from your number 1 spot to your number 3 spot, because DC and Image are fucking you in the ass right now. I don't even like The Walking Dead, but it puts your books to shame. Their quarter special they put out not too long ago was better than anything I've read from Marvel in quite a bit. If you're a comic book reader and you're looking for good stuff, like I said, DC Rebirth, I like Dark Knight 3. Hell, even Power Rangers versus Justice League was a good story. Like, how do you make a crossover out of something so retarded good? You put a good writer on it. You get a really solid artist. And you just produce quality. If you have a good writer and a good artist, you're going to make a good comic book. I think that's a Neil Adams quote. But if you have a Nick Spencer and some no-name from the middle of nowhere that you can pay pennies to, you're going to produce shit. Look at what happened with X-Men a couple months... Well, I guess earlier in the month. Last month now, sorry. It's been a long month for me. But look what happened in April with X-Men. You had the guy hid Islamic propaganda in the book, and Marvel's just been in the headlines for all the wrong things. You know, they love the praise when they put out a new gay black female character who's got superpowers or whatever. The 5 minutes they get in the blogosphere. Oh, Tumblr loves you. Oh, you got a front page article on Yahoo. But then your book sells like shit. It's like you're so worried about looking cool but not producing. And I'm not saying producing just quality content, but producing money. You're a business, but you don't want money. You want to stand and virtue signal. You want to get on your political high horse, and you want to present yourselves as something more than you truly are. You used to be the house of ideas. Now you're just the house of pure and utter bullshit, and I just want to move and never come back. Well, this was an unscripted rant. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, tell me why in the comments section below. I would really like to have a discussion with someone trying to defend Marvel's current state of a lack of quality. Because, you know, I'm always open for discussion, but this is a hard one to argue for. Marvel, no matter who you are, no matter what walk of life you come from, they're fucking up something you care about. And comic book fans are a passionate lot, so bring it. Also, subscribe to this channel because every Thursday night we put out an awesome podcast called World Class Bullshitters, which we're going to put out this Thursday night about Guardians of the Galaxy 2. We're going to review it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for the movie personally. Also, this July is Spider-Man month. We're going to do something to go along with the release of Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm thinking I'm going to do commentaries on all 5 Spider-Man films. The 2 good ones, the 1 okay one, and the 2 amazingly shitty ones. Maybe do some reviews, all kinds of shit. But put it like this, July is Spider-Man month. If you like comics, if you like Spider-Man, subscribe to this channel and click the little bell to make sure you get all the notifications because you don't want to miss out. Other than that, I don't have anything else to say. I've been your host, Jeff Hicks. Thanks for listening, and I will be back later with another video.